Welcome, everyone, to the Zigzag Zog podcast, where we're going to be zigging and zagging around some Zog thoughts. This is episode 1. What is Zigzag Zog? And to begin, I will read to you a little bit about what this is, because I've always wanted to read to you all. So here we go. Zigzag Zog, Episode 1. What is this? Toiling over what sort of content to make, I've realized that I seem to naturally gravitate toward talking about my life and the thoughts that go along with it. I realized there is already a format of media dedicated to just this sort of style of content: podcasting. Truly, I have known this all along, but I wasn't sure how best to go about it. But then I had an idea, a vision of how it could work. I said to myself, if I create the correct container for myself to work with, I know it will begin to take on a life of its own. I know this because I've already done this once with my art on Instagram. I knew that I wanted to start doing art more and more regularly. And at first, they were just little ink drawings that popped out of my brain, totally unconnected to anything. Then sparked the name Ink Thing in my mind. And suddenly, my little creations had a little container to thrive in. There's power in framing. So how can I frame my ramblings? I ask to myself. How can I properly contain them? Zigzag Zog has been on my mind for a long time. Funny how it can all begin with a name. Now, how to begin the thing? I'm a writer, after all, I say to myself. So I should let myself write. I've always wanted to read to you all. So why not begin it? Begin it, then let the free-form thoughts have their say. In a container of art with a time limit, let's say. Then let the framed thing free. This is the idea behind Zigzag Zog, anyway. So let's try. So the idea for this podcast is I've always been a journaler, I've always been a writer. I've been wanting to read my journals to you guys for a long, long time. I just haven't really been sure how to go about it. I started by reading my childhood diary. It became a little bit of an intense therapy-like scenario. So I decided to let little me, have her privacy. But I did want I did want to read you something, you know. And I think there are maybe some lines from a more adult version of me that could work out. And especially if I'm just writing them now, then setting those thoughts free. Truth be told, guys, I actually started a YouTube channel years and years ago that actually has more subscribers and more views than this channel currently does. It was an audiobook channel where I was reading audiobooks. Well, I started with Alice in Wonderland, but then what happened with the thing is a certain friend of mine, destroyed my computer quite purposefully. And with it, all of the files went that I had recorded, and then I just didn't have a computer for a while, for more than a year, actually. I didn't have a computer for years, even. And so I abandoned that project because once all of the files, I had read the whole dang book and I was in the middle of editing it, and I had even started reading the next book too. And once I lost the files, and I was in school and I was super busy and I didn't have a computer, and by the time I got a computer again, my steam for the project had kind of gone. And at that point, I didn't really have a lot of views or anything like that, but so I just figured, okay, just let it go, you know. But last year I kind of forgot about that project. But last year I went and checked on it, and the first episode, or the first chapter of Alice in Wonderland has over a 1,000 views, you know. So part of me is like wondering if I should go back to that project at some point too, but to be honest, as much as I want to read things to you, I also kind of want to just talk about things too, you know. Before, I didn't have a strong enough sense of self to want to put my own thoughts out there because I was still learning, you know. And I'm still learning, don't get me wrong. But I've also been through a lot, and I've learned a lot, and I think I actually have something to say now that, I don't know, maybe people would find interesting or helpful in some way. Or maybe if anything, I can just be your friend, you know, your digital friend through and through, with podcast episodes for you, you know. So yes, zigzag zog. The idea I have is to incorporate art with thought and let it go. So what is zigzag zog? Even I don't know. See ya.